Most founders doing between about 500K to 3 million a year know that their clients are worth more than what they're collecting from them. They know that referrals should be more predictable. They know that their clients should be consistently upselling into a backend offer. They know that there's revenue sitting in their business that isn't getting collected. And they've known this for a while, but yet there's not really any systems that get built to fix it. And that's not because you don't care. It's because there's 4 very specific forces that are actually working against you that nobody in this industry ever talks about. So if you're a founder who finds yourself having to start from zero every single month because you're on what I like to call the high ticket hamster wheel and always needing to bring in more clients on the front end to make revenue on the back, this video is going to show you exactly why that keeps happening and what specifically needs to change for it to stop. So the first is actually the most structural of the 4 because it's based on how the business measures itself. When your cost per lead goes up, you feel it immediately. There's a number, there's a dashboard, there's an alert. Something goes red, someone gets yelled at, and somebody works on it all day. But when a client leaves a program early, there's no notification. It just looks like normal business. When a client finishes your program and doesn't refer anybody in, there's no alert that goes off. When there's an upsell conversation that didn't convert into somebody who actually bought the next offer, nobody really notices, at least not enough to sit down and figure out what can we do better next time. So the back end loses revenue very quietly, but the front end screams it. And the thing that's screaming gets the attention, the budget, and the urgency. So the fix to this is simply tracking the numbers that are the leading indicators to the lagging indicator of building revenue on the back end and making more profit from the clients you currently have instead of always needing to find new clients. So just simply start tracking these 4 metrics. The first is your early win rate, which is what percentage of the clients achieve a predefined win within the first 3 to 7 days of enrolling. The second is your referral ask rate, not your referral rate, but your referral ask rate, which is what percent of your clients were asked if they would send a referral. The third is your upsell ask rate, again, ask rate, which is what percent of your clients were pitched or asked to consider the upsell. And the fourth is your renewal ask rate, or what percent of your clients were asked to stay or continue in the same offer they're currently in. Now, the thing is, if you're already at 100% for each of those things and still not getting the referrals, the upsells, the renewals that you would like to be seeing, the problem is in how you're asking, when you're asking, and systematically making sure that your clients are getting results at very specific moments in your client journey. But that's a whole other video. But for the founders who aren't tracking those numbers, when those 4 numbers live on a dashboard next to all of your front-end metrics, the back end stops being invisible. The second reason is really simple, but it's just as damaging. It's that nobody usually owns the back end. Now, obviously you could say, yes, cool, I have a CSM. Maybe you even have a team of CSMs and you have a CSD, somebody who's a director and actually running and held accountable for it. But I want you to think about the attitude and the culture that's put into the front end of your business for a second. Everything that happens with the leads, everything that happens with your sales calls, everything that happens with your brand and your marketing and your ads, it's all micro analyzed. You have teams and resources and, let's be honest, a culture that prioritizes those things because that's what we've always been taught. But what about having the same culture, the same attitude, the same micro analysis for everything that happens after the yes? Who owns the experience in the first 72 hours? Who owns the referral ask the moment the client's belief is highest? Who owns making sure that your team is educated on knowing when and how to make those referrals, upsells, continuation asks? Who owns the midpoint review and deciding if they're a good fit for an upsell offer and how to make that upsell offer? And the truth is, in most founder-led businesses, the answer is usually no one, the founder themselves, or a team that's completely reactive, not proactive, and woefully under-resourced and under-educated on knowing when and how to create those moments. None of that is scalable. Because the thing is, most client success teams and cultures are reactive by design. They handle what comes in, when the client complains, what questions they have, and it has no mandate to generate anything. There's no accountability for the outcomes that actually drive LTV. The third reason is the most personal out of the 4, and honestly, it's the one that most founders don't want to hear. It's when the founder is the product. The only referral asks that actually get a yes are the ones that the founder makes personally and are the ones where the founder was a part of the entire delivery. The only upsells that convert are the ones where the founder has a personal relationship with the client. The reason the client stays is because they got to spend a lot of time with the founder and they expect to continue spending a lot of time with the founder. And systematizing all of that makes it feel like you're losing the thing that's making it work, which is you involved in the delivery. So the founder stays in the middle of it. And the business builds an inherent ceiling at exactly where the founder runs out of time, which usually happens a lot quicker than you want it to. So the goal of systematizing the back end isn't to remove the founder's voice or influence from it. It's to take the things that the founder does really well and instinctively and build those instincts into a system and into a team that can run it on its own. And that way, every client gets the version of the system where the founder was involved without the founder actually needing to be involved. And the fourth reason, I gotta be honest, is the deepest one, and it's also the hardest one to fix because it's embedded in the culture of online business right now. Most founders and businesses believe that client success is an overhead expense. Look at where the budget goes. Look at where the hires happen. Look at where everybody's discretionary effort and energy goes. Sales and marketing and product and branding. And client success gets whatever's left over with a direction and a mandate and a requirement even to make sure every client is happy make sure nobody leaves, and deal with the stuff that nobody else wants to deal with. And the belief that client success is a cost center, that it's just a necessary overhead of doing business, that it exists to prevent problems instead of generate revenue, is the single most expensive belief currently in most founder-led businesses. Because the truth is, the businesses that capture the most profit after the sale, which if you don't already know, you can capture way more profit after the sale than you can on any front-end sale, are the ones who have consciously decided to take ownership over what happens after a client says yes. So if you want to know exactly where you're losing profit on the back end and where you can be making sure that every single client is becoming more valuable to your business, comment the word audit below and I will send you a fully personalized breakdown of the back end of your business and tell you exactly how you can be making more profit from every client that you work so hard to close.